Actually, there's not much to tell. I'm not much more than an interpreter, and not very good at telling stories. Well, not at making them interesting, anyway.
Have you ever heard anybody say that only fools believe in God, or that if you're really intelligent, then you'll be an atheist?
You know, overgrown mophead like you would be
If you
stupid enough
believe
to...
that, I think you'll be disagreed with by one of the greatest minds of our time, and that was Albert Einstein. A lot of people don't know this, but here are a few quotes from Albert Einstein and what he had to say about the belief in God. I am not an atheist. I don't think I can call myself a pantheist. The problem involved is too vast for our limited minds. We are in the position of a little child entering a huge library filled with books of many languages. The child knows someone must have written these books. All the research that Einstein did on the universe, and all the work he did on mathematics and all these constant things that were here before man, led him to know that some kind of mind had to be behind creation. There was no way he could doubt this. And the further you get into science, the further you get into exploring the universe, the further you get into discovering the body, the closer you become to knowing that there's intelligence behind creation. Another quote from Einstein: God did not create evil. Just as darkness is the absence of light, evil is the absence of God. He came to a point to where he knew there was a God, and as he says here, God wasn't the creator of evil. It's just the absence of light. Just like when you move away from the sun, you get cold. The sun is what's real. The sun is what is created. But the cold itself, when you move away from the sun, it's not a created thing. It's just the depravity of being around the good. That's what evil is. Another quote from Einstein: in view of such harmony in the cosmos, which I, with my limited human mind, am able to recognize, there are yet people who say there is no God. But what really makes me angry is they quote me to support these views. As you see here, Einstein said, like it's a surprise to him, like there's still people that can say there's no God. Like it surprised him. Like, and it should surprise you. When you look how deep things are, when you look how deep creation is, you know, things are made with a purpose. When you see a fork, you don't think that fork was made by an accident. You can see there's a purpose for it. You see it has a handle to grab. You see it has the 4 pricks to stick food with. Same thing with us. We have 5 fingers. We have eyes. We have a nose to smell. We have a completely complex hearing system and taste buds and love for music, and like these are all created with a purpose. So that just shows you further and further that we were created by an intelligent being. In 1929, Edwin Hubble discovered the red shift, and it ended all thoughts of a static or a constant universe. You see, even Einstein, after coming to the realization that we were created by a being, by God, after coming to this realization, he still would try to deny that God was a moral being. Because this is where you move away from the intelligence. This is where we left the intelligence of Einstein, because now you're getting into a part of morals, and everybody has moral failures. Everybody. Einstein had them too. So this is why he didn't want to accept the fact that we had a moral God that actually cares about the way we act, that actually cares about the things we do. So he tried his best to fudge the numbers on one of his equations to make it seem as though the universe was constant and always eternal. And then when Hubble in 1929 discovered that we had a red shift, meaning that the stars and galaxies were moving away, which means that they had to have a beginning, a start. This showed that the universe wasn't eternal and that it had a beginning. So, finding this out, we had to further understand that, hey, there's no way out of it. The universe had a start, so it had a creation. There's too much death in creation. Every part of your cell needs every other part of it to, even be able to work. So there's no way you can take away anything from your cells. You can't take one part away from your eye and let it still work. It's an irreducibly complex system that is inside of our bodies. Your blood will not work without the heart. Your heart will not work without the blood. People think that we might have evolved from fish, but there's no way a fish can live out in the air. So no matter what kind of excuses they try to come with, these are all theory. So people have to really come to a realization that this theory of evolution is just that. It's a theory. No one even knows the true earth, the true age of the earth. But the theory of evolution that they hold on to gives them a predisposition onto why they think that the earth is a certain age. Because they see these creatures and they believe that we had to have evolved instead of be created. So this is why they add so much time to the earth. And this is what throws off the number in their carbon dating systems. I've posted videos and all these type of things, and I'm also going to post some in the context under this video. I hope that some people are really looking for the truth and not just being in a search for pleasure. And that's the problem for a lot of people. They're just searching for pleasure and what'll make them happy. And from one thing I know from experience is that searching for pleasure is something that you have to pay for later on. And this is something that a lot of people don't know that they're doing in life, and they feel like they're doing everything right because they're accepted by society. But all through the Bible, we see many times where complete whole societies were punished by the wrath of God. And, just following along because everybody else is doing it doesn't make something right. Things are getting worse and worse. Things are getting more and more evil. More and more sins are being acceptable. And our consciences are being seared with a hot iron to where we don't even know right from wrong anymore. These are sad times and scary times. So I hope that people are willing to face the persecution and really face what's going on, because people aren't going to agree with you when you start doing what's right, when you start speaking on what's right, when you start searching for the truth. But God will be there, and everlasting life is in the balance. It's at stake. Something to think about.
Do take good care of yourself.